Are you gonna grow it out?
Yep, I'm gonna grow it out. I'm gonna become a big old lumberjack.
I think your microphone changed, Gilly.
You're blue again.
I'm
There we go.
blue. Hey guys,
You should
so
make it to like.
we are live. We are two dudes and a chick. I'm Lady Angel Fire.
Gilly, the blue one. I don't know why it's doing this.
Every time I
And
talk about a sad topic, you should just like turn your color.
And so today is going to be kind of a day of random conversation. We've all had crazy real life schedules, so we missed last week. So welcome in. And I guess we'll start off with the heavy and then transition into just some random. So Gilly, take it away.
So I was watching The Good Doctor. I don't know if y'all have ever watched The
Mm-hmm.
Good Doctor or not.
Yeah.
It's actually a really good show. Like I really enjoy watching that show. But no, they were talking about this one patient or whatever and how, if you were content with life, you wouldn't fight for your life as much when it really comes down to it. But at the same time, like if you were content in like say your relationship you're in or with your job or with something else in life, I feel like life would be so much more simpler. But like it's like where is that fine line between being too content and being yeah, I'm turning blue again, aren't I? But like being too content and then being just enough content. Like where is that fine line, you know?
You talking about like being like happy with your life enough to
Yeah,
just
being
like
like
not.
happy. Yeah, being like happy with your life. Like happy with your job, happy with your marriage, your relationship, your everything. But then like when it comes down to fighting for your life, literally like health wise, if you were content with life, then you wouldn't fight for your life when it really comes down to it. When it when you know it's not the end, you know?
Mm-hmm.
See, I feel like it's more of like a mentality thing. Like the way I am is like if something wasn't happening to me tomorrow, I'd be content with it. Like, like I'm just more of a line of I'm more on the line of it is what it is kind of thing. Like if God wants something to happen, I'm gonna let him, take it into his own hands. I'm just kind of like I just kind of float around. Like it doesn't really it wouldn't bother me.
But you have to help it along. Like, okay, so my favorite story, like, of that example is like this woman was praying to God every day to win the lottery, right? And every day she'd wake up and she didn't win the lottery and she kept getting angrier and angrier. And finally she's like, God, why can't I win the lottery? And God says, because you won't buy a ticket.
Hey, yeah, hey,
You gotta
I
do
mean that.
something to like
you ain't
help
wrong
it
there.
along.
That's true.
Like I said, I don't know. Like if I'm sick and I'm like really bad off, I can see kind of like fighting for that. But like I'm talking, I was kind of talking like an instance, like if something was like major happen, like if I was tomorrow get in a car wreck and pass away, then that wouldn't really bother me. But like if I'm sick and laying in a hospital bed, then I'm gonna give it my all, of course. I don't know who wouldn't.
All right, so let me put it to you this way then. Say you're in the hospital. You don't know for sure that you're on your deathbed, but like there's like a 50-50 chance, okay? But they're like two extremes. You're either like you're going to make it completely fine or you're going to, drop dead. And you don't know which one it is, but it's a 50-50 chance. At what point would you be like is it okay to be content with your life then? And be like, whatever go happens happens, or and is that like if you were content with that, does that kind of give you more of a winning chance on dying or living? You know what I mean? Like,
I think it gives you a bigger chance of living because
Yeah.
you're happy and happiness and being able to relax actually is very healing. When your
But
body
then,
can't relax and it's always been under stress, your body's
yeah.
always been under like fight or flight, it it decreases your healing.
But also at the same time, you kind of need that fight in you in order to also make it, you know?
Oh, I'll
Because,
fight.
like,
I'll fight
yeah,
because I'm content with my life. I don't want to lose it.
yeah,
See, I
but
think
it's like, it's like you get what I'm saying though? You get where
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of like how that's like crossing over and there's like a really big gray area. Like,
I think
I
that if
just,
someone is like extremely happy with the life that they've lived so far, like like I've had I'm 24 years old, I'll be 25, and I know I've lived my life. These 24 years of my life have been just absolutely amazing. It's I might have had some ups and downs, but I've lived an amazing life. That I think that like if some other people, if they think they lived a life as good as they think they have, when it comes time for them to pass away or sick or whatever, I think they'd be okay with it just because of the fact that they've lived an amazing life. They've got to experience amazing things, meet amazing people, stuff like that. I feel like some people in instance would be okay with passing away.
yeah. I don't know. I've been watching The Good Doctor and I saw that like at the beginning of, I think it was well, it was Wednesday or Thursday, I think it was. And ever since then, just being like the word content has just kind of like stuck with me. And I've just like looked at it through different avenues and I'm just like, it's just a giant big gray area when it comes to just the word content. 'Cause like, even when you take content, let's not necessarily say with like fighting for your life, but also like being content in a relationship or with your job or anything like that. Like a lot of people, that's why everything is so messed up
Sure.
nowadays because nobody is content with who they're with, or they're not content with how things are going. And then that's why everybody is continuously searching for someone, but yet like you take this back 50 years ago and then you talk to people back then and they find the one that they love and they're content with that and then they last for 50 years. So it's like
Do you think there's a
content is a
difference
very
between being content and being complacent?
okay. I see where you're going with that.
So, are you content or are you complacent?
Me
Hmm.
personally?
No, like in that moment,
Oh.
like yeah, because I mean, I go through waves and seasons of like I'm content, I have joy, like I look forward to every day, and then there's moments where I'm just like I'm happy with my life, but
But you look at it
I'm
as an
kind of
overall
like
picture, though. Some people
I
look
do.
at their just straight relationships as like, I mean, I'm most of the time, a lot of people, that's why everybody's single nowadays, or just, hopping around. Nobody's content. Nobody can find someone that they can be content with.
See, I just think that's our generation though. Like, stuff like
Y'all's
this.
generation. I'm older than
Yeah.
both of you.
Well, like, my parents' generation and stuff like that, and beyond that, all the, relationships were real smooth and easy, everybody was content, once they got married or found somebody, that was it, there was more high school sweethearts back then.
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays people are just, we're pretty much in a generation now to where like a lot of people I know who are horrible at, and horrible in relationships or like even when it comes to some parenting, which I hate to even say that. Uh, God.
I mean, it is
Um,
what it is. We all know some of those people out there.
yeah, but it's like, and like I'm watching this things that they do publicly, and I'm just like, wow, and you got like three kids and you're pretty much teaching your kids it's all right to do those things. So
Mm-hmm.
that's where we're kind of like getting into now is how like all these people are, just out and about, just running around. I mean, it's weird. You know, you're more likely to get divorced nowadays than to stay married. And
Oh
that's
yeah.
insane. Like it honestly is. But that's just. And I honestly think that that's just being kind of taught. You know,
Well,
not. I mean, ain't trying.
what I've
But
learned seeing as how I am about close to 20 years older than you. Um,
You ain't gotta name ages.
Yeah, age
it's
is just a
okay.
number at this point.
Yep,
There's a
you're
lot of
right.
life lesson there. So I've learned that in order to be happy in my relationship, I have to be happy with me. If I'm not happy with me, it doesn't matter the relationship, friendship, romantic, it doesn't matter. It's not going to be healthy. And I'm not going to be happy with it because me being unhappy in my marriage is just a reflection of me not liking something about myself.
So that brings it right around. We're having a full circle moment here. So that brings it around to content with yourself and your life and your job and you as a person. Like, I feel like a lot of people, like you said, have to be content with themselves in order to find someone that they can be content with.
Yeah. Cuz you attract what you are. So if you're desperate and needing rescue, like that's what you're feeling and that's the energy that you're putting off, you're going to attract another person who's desperate and needing rescued. And so now you're just one big jumble of hot mess.
Oh yeah.
But if you're content, here we go. And so if you want to attract somebody independent, strong, content, you need to be independent, strong, and content.
Definitely.
And you'll
That's
be
right.
good.
Right.
And I feel like, that's a lot of people nowadays. And I guess that's what's kind of different between the older generation and us now. Like, they're not really taking the time to figure out who they are as a person and,
They're
you
more
know,
confident.
say what?
The older generations, I think, were just way more confident.
They
You know,
were.
like nowadays, you have to like. I'm only saying that as like nowadays, like for a guy to get a woman nowadays, the women are nowadays women our age don't really look at personalities and stuff like that. If you got money, they most of the time they want you for money or this and that or social hierarchy or where who's your family knows or this and that.
Well, which I mean, that's how it was back then.
Well, I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
know.
but there
I feel
was
I
like back
mean,
then it was just a lot more,
they
I
had
mean, honestly,
simpler.
swagger.
sometimes it was like that. I mean, if you think about it, like in the way back in the days, like when you have kings, queens, all of that, and like, they always the king and queen would talk to their princess about like, oh yeah, he's prince of so and so. They are very well endowed and all of that kind of shit. Like they got good money, they got good everything and stuff like that. They got property everywhere and stuff like that. Like, but I don't know. Like it's kind of still like that, but I feel like I don't know. See, I wish we could pull someone in that was like really like I don't know, bring like 100-year-old person in here and like pull them into the podcast and be like, what's different from then to now? you know?
I
Well, when I say more confident, I'm talking and speaking as in like, okay, so we're the generation that grew up with iPhones and stuff like that. And nowadays, in order for you to meet somebody, you meet them online, and
Yeah.
you rarely actually meet somebody in person. You always meet them online nowadays. I
Yep.
say confident back then you had to walk up to the person that you liked and talk to them like then, and you had to be confident. If you didn't have confidence, you wasn't getting nowhere.
That's how
That's
I met my
true.
You
That's
know?
husband.
And
very true.
wait, I can't hear, lady.
That's how I met. Well,
Yeah, I can't hear her.
Mm-mm.
you lost me.
Oh, there you go. There
There
you
you
go.
are.
So that's how I met my husband.
Oh, walking up and talking.
He walked up and asked me to dance.
That's what I'm saying. Like nowadays, it's
Hey,
all
hey,
you
hold
know.
on. Back in the day, dancing, you could get in trouble for dancing.
That's what happened to old Footloose.
right?
Well, we got in trouble. We got married 3 weeks later.
Hey, and look how happy y'all been since. Look how long y'all been together.
17 years.
Like I said, me and my wife, me and her got married I want to say after about a year of knowing each other, and we've been together for 6 years now.
Only a year?
Yeah, and
You
Okay.
like
say
right,
only a year.
yeah,
I
and like
get
right
3 weeks.
after.
Okay.
And like I said, and
Jeez.
and we have, we had our kids, and wouldn't change it.
You know what's funny though? Is like the people that I've heard stories from. And I've worked in the restaurant industry or just the customer service industry and stuff like that. And I've talked to a lot of people.
Okay.
But like the ones that have met the most, like they meet and then all of a sudden they get married or like they're, whatever, into a very serious part of the relationship. When they do it, the more quickly they do it, the longer they last in the long run. Have you ever noticed that?
I've kind of noticed that too. Okay, okay, throw it away. Yeah, I mean, I've noticed that too, but that's just what I wanted to say was like, the older generations were just so much more confident. I mean, the generations back then wore really nice clothes. They always dressed up when they went out. They always just nowadays there's just some people wearing the most weirdest stuff,
Yeah.
and it's just the older generations just had style to me. Suits, nice clothes, slacks. I mean,
I wish we could go back to the roaring 20s
Well, see, and I
oh
think,
yeah,
just for the clothes.
but I think the difference is like nowadays, kids are waiting for society to tell them who they are and what they are. Where back then, you told society who you were,
yeah.
That's true.
and you dressed the way you wanted to be perceived. Now, it's the complete opposite.
You dress to impress someone else instead of to make yourself feel good and how you want to look. You act and do the things that everybody else wants you to do to be cool and to fit in and to, you know, all of that. Because, like, even though we're not in high school and stuff like that, that stuff trails into adulthood. Let's be real. It does.
Well, I know one thing it doesn't with me because I'll wear a freaking shirt every single day.
Oh, yeah. I wear a t-shirt if it's not a t-shirt, it's a tank top.
Word.
Well, it depends on if I'm going to work. We see you.
He's waving.
Fitting image.
Go
Oh my
play, sir.
gosh.
I love you. He's got his shirt on backwards and inside out.
Yeah, my son put his on
That's my
backwards
kid.
too. So I'm just like, yeah, nah, it's you're rocking and rolling like that.
It won't last forever.
Well,
So,
you know what I think will last forever? Him wearing his shoes backwards. Like, that's weird.
Seriously, my son. Let's hop to kids real quick.
sure.
My son has put his shoes on backwards every day since he's been wearing shoes, and I just don't understand. Like, how is that comfortable? Like, that's gotta hurt,
Backwards.
right?
How do you put on shoes backwards?
Well, like, the
Yeah,
groove or
you
whatever.
you switch the feet.
Opposite. Okay.
Yeah, opposite. Yeah,
Yeah, opposite
I'm thinking
shoes.
like
backwards.
backwards.
I mean, he has tried that, but it didn't work. Yeah, no. Like, I just don't get it. Like, I'm starting to think my kid's dyslexic because he just puts everything on backwards.
It won't last.
I know it
forever.
only has to do with reading, but we were talking about that at work. They're like, guys, he was like, dyslexic it only refers to reading. I was like, I thought it referred to everything backwards. So did you have to fight over the phone when you were well no, when did you start dating him?
When did I start dating my husband?
Yeah.
17 years ago.
17 years ago. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was just trying to think, like,
2006.
talking about, like, being confident and everything like that. You also have to, be confident because, like, back then you can interrupt somebody's phone call while you're on the phone call with your girlfriend because you could pick
Oh,
up the other line and hear
I
the
used
same
to do that to my
conversation.
brother all the time. Oh my gosh. So we found out that you could take a 2 quarters and you put it on the prong of the receiver for the cordless phone and it ends the call. So
Really?
yeah, so like my brother would run off with the cordless phone to be on the phone, and I would like run to the base and I would touch the prongs and like hang up the phone, and he'd be like, "What is going on?" Like I used to like torment him all the time
That's funny.
with that. So yes, I like, oh, I was awful to my brother.
I remember growing up and we had a landline and we had it was an older house, so they still had the long cord phone.
Yep.
So my mom would be walking through the house or my dad be walking through the house and you just see his cord just wrapping around the house.
Yeah, when you
And
couldn't
us are
find
on
mom,
the
just
phone.
follow the cord.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, we had that growing up too. Like my dad would answer the phone and it would be like my boyfriend calling and he'd holler through the house, "It's Lover Boy" on the phone.
That's
Like, good
hilarious.
God. And so I couldn't have a private conversation.
Yeah.
You know, that's the other thing. Like my kids now, they could go have a private conversation and I would have no idea what was being said or what they were doing.
You wouldn't even know they're having a private conversation.
Yeah. When I was a kid, like it was in the living room and I had the conversation in the living room.
Yep.
So I waited till nighttime when the parents went to sleep.
Oh, no. No. Nope. No calls after 9.
Oh yeah, you call the house after 9 o'clock.
You better be bleeding and in the hospital.
Yep.
That was it.
Crazy times.
Or when like you had to call home because you needed a ride and you did the collect call thing, and instead of saying your name, you said, "Hey, can you pick me up at Kmart?" And then you'd hang up.
Yeah, because you only have like a few seconds. I was watching Gabriel Iglesias, and my dad was sitting next to me, and my uncle, his younger brother, and he was like, "Hey, Kevin," my dad's named Kevin, and Chad is my younger uncle, and he was like, "Hey, Kevin, I remember that one time you called us and you said you needed a ride home, and you did collect call."
That was a real
I was
thing.
like, "Dad, is there something you need to tell me?"
Yeah, that was a real thing.
Because he used to talk like he was all goody two shoes and everything like that. Oh, I listened to my parents all the time. I never got into trouble. Oh, okay, Dad. Okay.
I have
Oh, God.
something lagging my computer, something bad.
River, please. What are you doing?
So,
No.
I guess we'll tell the podcast too. So I did get it's called NOC, it's Network Operations. So I got the position where I'll be working on voice over IP.
Voice over IP. Let's go.
Mm-hmm. So
It's good though. Congratulations.
thanks. So my schedule is going to be different. I feel like
Don't let him go. He's gonna run away.
I will be on 9 to 5 for training. I don't know what after that, but
Okay.
I just like watching G Boogie.
I know. He's like yelling at his kids.
My 4-year-old is walking my dogs. I'm like nervous.
It's like
Buddy
when
Boo,
you,
go inside.
I just picture that moment when they take Beethoven into the grocery store and he's just like knocking everything off the shelves.
So
Good boy, something
if
else.
there was parenting, like if you could ask one thing for parenting advice, what would it be?
I don't really know.
That'll have to take me a minute. I don't know.
Hmm. Yeah, I really don't. Parenting advice.
Okay, I guess what is one thing that you did to your parents that you're really hoping that your kids don't do to you?
Oh God,
Mm.
I should have wrote a list.
Uh, I don't know. I mean, I've never really done anything bad to my parents, and my parents always kind of like. I know my parents. Me and my parents got in. Me and my dad got into it when I was 16, and he ended up me and him got into it, and I ended up packing my stuff, and I left the house at 16 and moved to Louisiana. 'Cause I lived in Mississippi. Um, I don't know. Like, I don't know.
I know
What do you need?
I'm trying to find my
after
memory
my
card.
parents
It's
got
not right
divorced,
here.
they still were
I don't know
both in
where
the
it is.
picture.
I'm just looking anywhere it
But
could be.
we I don't know. I was a very angry teenager, and I was mad at the fact that, how everything went down with them too, and how we all had to move and everything like that. And I would never go home. I wouldn't let them know where I was going, what I was doing, and I would just come home whenever I want. And um, I'd leave school early. They wouldn't know where I was. Anytime they called or texted, I wouldn't answer the phone during those times. I was just like non-communicative.
See, when I was okay, so once my brother graduated high school, so there's four siblings. I'm the youngest. All right, my older sister is 32 or 31. My second oldest sister is 27. No, 28. My brother is 26 because I'll be 25 next month. I mean, I'll be 25 August. So like once my brother graduated high school, my parents didn't really like care what I did as like they didn't really care if I just didn't go to school or like if I just went out and did what I wanted. So it was weird, like, 'cause like they made sure they all graduated and stuff, but like when I got to like 15 years old, 16 years old, my dad and them didn't really force that anymore. They were just like, it is what it is.
See, I guess that's kind of different for me because I'm the oldest. So like that,
You are the
they were
oldest.
the one, I was the one they were strict on. So
Yeah, see, they weren't strict on me at all. Like, I can't tell how many times I just didn't go to school. Me and my buddies would just be like, we'll go to the gym.
yeah,
Or like we'll just go hang out hang out on the creek or whatever.
we used to ditch school and go to the beach and stuff like that, or just
That I mean,
drive up and down back roads all the time. That's all we did. We wasted so much gas
see,
in
I
that
lived
little
in
It
Chevy
was cheap.
Cruise. And if my friend ever listens to this, she knows exactly what I'm talking about. We would drive miles upon miles. I'm talking like we would get out of school at like 3:30 and we would drive until like 9, 10, 11 o'clock. Sometimes midnight, 1 o'clock. And just drive. And I mean, I'm glad it was a Chevy Cruze, not like a big truck or anything like that. Because good lord, did we put
yeah,
some miles on that car?
Well, I mean, gas is cheap then. I
yeah, it
mean,
was cheap then.
Yeah, I think gas was like I think it was like 250 or something like that a
see, when I
gallon.
first started driving around, it was like $1. I
The
miss
cheapest
those
I've
days.
Yeah.
the cheapest I've seen, like when Trump was president, the cheapest I've seen down here, which is cheapest I've ever seen, it was a dollar. There's like a dollar 80 here. And like right before
Maybe
Biden
maybe
got
it
in
wasn't.
office, it dropped below $2. That's the first time I've ever seen it that cheap in since forever, since I was, ever started noticing gas signs. So like that was actually amazing to me seeing, oh my God, you telling me I can get a gallon of gas for less than $2?
Yeah,
It was like
because
$30 to fill my truck up.
in high school in Carolina, it was like it would range from like 235 to 249 is about where it would range at. Because we'd always stop at that one BP or the 7-Eleven to get gas. But yeah, you're right. That's the cheapest that we've ever seen gas. That's crazy. Now it's like almost $4 a gallon.
It makes me want to throw up.
I know, right?
For sure.
It's crazy.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, like I said, I feel like they might. I don't know. Maybe they have some regret. I guess maybe not pushing me to go through like finish high school or anything. Like I said, because once I left them when I was 16 or whatever, I went and got a GED and stuff. So like,
Well, at least you got a GED. You know, you didn't not do anything. You know.
yeah, but it worked out for the best.
I have
Yeah.
one that still hasn't gotten his GED or high school diploma. I have one who high school just was not. It wasn't him. He got a GED. He's the one in the army. Um,
See, see, that's a crazy thing though. Like, I did sports and I always had good grades, so it was like I didn't really have a reason not to finish.
and then our daughter, she graduated, and then we have one still in high school
Dang.
who I have to fight
If there's
every day.
if there's one thing I've noticed though, is that like I don't know how it is up there, but like down here, in the plants, working the plants, chemical plants, stuff like that, and refineries, you don't have to have high school diplomas or GEDs and stuff. Like they literally hire anybody. I mean, you can have like 15 felonies and they'll hire you in a heartbeat down here in the plants. I
It's
don't know
because
how
it's
in the
that
hell they're getting a
bad.
TWIC card. Yeah, I know, but
Oh,
I don't know how in the hell they're getting a TWIC card, but they hire anybody down here. So like you literally don't have to finish high school or get GD and you can go right into the plant as a helper making $25 an hour and you can within 6 months to a year be making almost $30 an hour.
but if you
With
notice, the people without GEDs, without high school diplomas, with the felonies and all of that, you notice they work harder than
yep,
the ones that do.
yep, they work hard as hell.
They work like 10 times harder than the other ones that do. I've learned that, and I've noticed
Like
that
they
over time.
like they fighting for it.
Yeah, they've been fighting for it for so long, you know, because that's all they got. That's I mean, they could do more if they wanted to, but at the same time, like they've been doing it for so long that that's just what they're used to. It's kind of crazy,
All right, next question.
right?
Next question. Uh,
I think you're muted again, Angel Fire.
Dadgum, I'm here. Well, the website was like freezing on me, so it shut down. Can you hear me? See?
Yeah.
As soon as I start up, I think
Oh,
I have
there it
too
goes.
much going.
Pop, pop.
So what's y'all's shower thought for the week?
I had a shower thought the other day and I was like, damn, I'm gonna put this one on the podcast and now I'm like going blank.
Or your dump thought? Because I have a lot of thoughts taking a dump. I'm just saying. I don't know
See, I
why.
don't, because I'll be scrolling through TikTok.
Well, I scroll, but at the same time, I'm like thinking about random stuff while I'm scrolling.
Like what?
Hmm.
Like what? Like what?
What do I think about?
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, whenever I'm taking a dump, I'm always thinking about other ways of making money.
Word.
I don't know why.
I don't know. My dump talk was like the other day. My phone was on like 2%, so I was on charge. So I was like, "Fuck, I gotta fucking caveman this shit." And I went in there or whatever, and like I started thinking to myself, like, "Man, I have not done this without a phone in my hand in like 15 years. Like, this is what it feels like. This is weird. This is how my kids feel when they're using a bathroom.
Right? So there you
The
go.
struggle.
There's a. What are some things that you've done that you have not realized that you have done with a phone always that
Yeah,
you do it without a phone and you're like something's wrong.
yeah. I mean, I was sitting there and I was just like, I don't like this.
I think cooking.
Yeah,
Because
well,
like I watch shows like when I'm doing
You're
dining
watching
art.
Rachel Ray while you're cooking.
No, I don't watch Rachel Ray.
Does she even still have a TV show?
I think she's making dog food or something like that now.
say River wants cinnamon rolls. I'm like, cinnamon rolls again.
Remind me never to buy her cookbook.
Yeah, no.
She's able to make dog food, and I'm kind of scared about how her real food tastes.
Wait, is it real dog food?
Yeah, she makes Rachel Ray dog food now.
I'm kind of
I don't know.
worried.
That's a skill. I don't know. You ain't never got to buy dog food again? Shit.
I mean,
Hey, have you guys been playing Diablo 4?
I have not.
Uh-uh.
But I have been playing that freaking Phasmophobia crap, and oh my gosh. Dude, let me tell you. The day you get a PC, you're getting Phasmophobia, Boogie. It's so
I've been watching y'all
scary.
play it.
It is
watching
scary
you play
as
it, yeah.
crap, dude.
Gilly, where's your streams been?
Say what?
Where I haven't seen you streaming.
So I gotta fix OBS. So, I figured out what the issue is. So whenever OBS is open and I start streaming, my network randomly disconnects from my computer.
Okay.
Don't know how to fix that, but that's the issue.
Did you change the port that it's in? Remember when you were having that issue?
The internet port?
Yeah, because you have
I
two.
didn't-
You have two network
have-
ports on the back of your PC.
I
Did
do.
you move it?
I didn't move any cords.
Has your puppy chewed through one?
That is a good question.
He's like, let me look.
I know what I'm doing after the podcast.
Mine did.
He's been chilling underneath my homemade desk. So yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
Mine
God.
did it.
They right under it too.
So we were talking to everybody who's listening or who's gonna listen to this later. You know, I'm using my dining room table as my desk. Okay, and I have two like concert speakers. Basically, they're PA speakers, but two concert speakers in the back. And then I took a kitchen cabinet shelf out that I don't use, and I put it on top of the two speakers, but spread the speakers apart so I have room in the middle. So I have my one screen in the middle on the table, one screen to the left, and then one screen on top of that shelf on top. And the middle of my table is starting to do a U. And yeah, I think it's time to invest in an actual desk that can support this weight. So yeah,
would
no,
agree.
it's interesting, but I do need to check that cord now that you mention it, because it does go right under where he's been hanging out at.
Yep. I was working, so I was like sitting here working, and all of a sudden, like all my stuff just like stopped working, and I turn around and he's back here just gnawing on the cord.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was awful.
So I bought new Tupperware, and I left my Twizzlers in a Tupperware on the couch, and I completely forgot about it because it was like tucked behind some pillows and blankets and stuff. It was closed. Somehow he broke it, got it open, and keep this in mind. I ate half of a pack of Twizzlers. There was a pack and a half in there still left. He ate all of those and chewed up the container. And you know, it kind of broke up my dump thought, because like I was thinking about ways of making money, and then I just hear like a crunching and like a breaking noise from out in the living room, and I'm just like, that can't be good. So I get up, I come out here, and I'm like, you ate, not only did you eat all my Twizzlers, but you broke one of the brand new Tupperware containers. Like, come
Yeah.
Yeah,
on, man.
Gilly, to be completely honest here, you lost me at Twizzlers.
Okay, what's wrong with Twizzlers, man?
They're gross.
Oh, dude, I do not like Twizzlers. Yeah, I can't eat.
Not even the
I
cherry
can't get on
ones?
that. Oh no, sir.
Come
The first thing I
on.
popped, the first thing that popped in my head when you said that my Twizzlers was, who hurt this man?
So my papa eats the strawberry ones, but I kind of like the strawberry ones, but I really like the cherry ones. Now, have you ever been to Bass Pro and eaten like the sour blue raspberry or green apple licorice or
They're
whatever?
just as bad.
They are so
No.
freaking good. What is wrong with y'all? They are so
Look, if
freaking good.
okay, look, if I go to Bass Pro, I'm marching my big ass over there to the fudge and stuff. All right.
Right?
I mean, I get a pack of fudge, the Twizzlers, and some more fishing stuff. And then I glance at the sunglasses and are like, all right, one day I'll buy a pair of those, but I never will because they're like $300. But
No. Mm-mm. Nope. Twizzlers
I got
is
my- I
like,
got a
it's
pair of
like putting
Coasters.
wax in my mouth.
but it's flavored wax that you could chew on for a bit, and it's good. But wax is like a completely different like consistency.
That reminds me of that candy,
Yeah.
like the wax lips. Remember
Oh,
those wax
yeah.
lips that you just like used to put in your mouth?
Yep.
That's gross.
Well, Gilly, knowing that you like Twizzlers, that's strike one to our friendship.
Come on, man. Twizzlers are good.
Hey, bro. Hey, I mean, yeah, I just, it ain't my cup of tea.
Now, what about the those peanuts? The
What
the
peanuts?
those
the
orange
marshmallow
ones?
peanuts? Yeah, the orange ones.
Gilly, we have a really good thing we got right now. Let's not ruin it.
It can't be that bad.
I haven't had one of those in years. I know what you're talking about. I haven't had one in years, but last time I had it, I didn't like it.
No.
I feel like y'all are the people that don't. Y'all are like the ones that don't like candy corn.
I don't.
Do you like candy corn, Boogie?
That's strike three, bro.
Nope.
Not even the chocolate candy corn. Come on, man.
No.
One
I don't need to
second.
eat chocolate
My cousin
candy.
just messaged me.
I don't need chocolate candy.
No,
I
wait.
have chocolate.
They make a what?
A chocolate candy
abomination?
corn.
Huh? Let me
Yeah.
tell you, if I go to some Halloween party and some motherfucker got some chocolate candy corn out and I end up grabbing one and biting into it, everybody dying. All right? Everybody's getting their ass whipped. If I bite into a chocolate, let's take. I saw a picture. It was like a chocolate covered fucking hot dog or some shit. Let me tell you, if I bite into a chocolate covered hot dog or something or a chocolate candy corn, everybody catching these hands at a party.
Right?
Those are gross.
They're good though. I'm gonna send you some for Halloween. I'm gonna send you a 1 pound bag of chocolate candy corn.
Let me tell you, bro. It'll never
one
make
way
I
me
to
bet
hit,
get-
you-
That's
I
one
bet
way
you
to
your
get
kids will
Boogie
love it.
No, that's one way to get Boogie to visit you.
let me tell you. You will never get my actual address now. I'm gonna get a message saying it's delivered, and I'm just gonna be like, yeah,
I'm
no
gonna-
boxes.
I'll just send it to your wife's store, and then she'll get it. She'll be like, "Why did we get a random bag of a pound of chocolate candy corn?" And she's gonna be like, and you're gonna be like, "Freaking Gilly."
See, River loves candy corn, and I like. He was eating some last Halloween. He was eating candy, and I was like, River, what are you eating, son? He's like, I'm eating these candies I found. I'm like, you like those? And he's like, yeah. I was like, I know you ain't my kid. No,
It's like today, we were watching Medea. They were like the little, you know how like Netflix we were scrolling through, and you get like the little preview before it starts.
Oh, I love Medea.
Dude, so the preview started, and they're like, "Let's watch that." I was like, "You remember watching that?" They're like, "Yeah, that's a funny movie. Let's watch that." And we started watching Medea, and they were cracking up. Like they were watching better than they were watching a kids movie. They freaking love Medea. Medea is so good though.
Well, it's like my 9-year-old loves watching Big Bang Theory.
That is a good show.
It is a good show.
I think they're not making They're not making any new episodes though anymore. I don't think.
No, it's over.
Nope. It's like Friends. You just get to enjoy
Huh?
the reruns.
Oh, I know. Okay. Do you remember growing up as a kid?
Big.
The caramel apple suckers.
Yes.
You remember those?
Yes.
I think you're muted again.
I don't know.
I'm not muted. It's turning green.
Oh, there we go.
I don't know. I've never been one to like suckers. Like I've never.
I mean, me neither, but like the caramel, so the caramel apple ones, like, you know the dum dum trick. You put it in your mouth and you just pull on it and you pull it off the stick.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can do the same thing with those, but they're a lot easier because it's like, they're, I don't know what like how they make them, but they're just easier to pull off the stick. But it's an apple sucker covered in caramel. It is so freaking good.
I
Yeah, I've
like
always
caramel
been to
apples.
like. I've always been into like M&M, Skittles, Shock Tarts, chocolate and sour stuff, baby.
Well, I love Sour Patch Kids and the what is it? The Sour Punch straws, and you
Yeah.
remember drinking the soda through one of those things? We thought we were the
Ooh.
coolest kids.
And deep down inside, it's just literally rotting out our teeth and stomachs.
Oh yeah, eating the alignment in our intestines.
All right. So, what is your biggest failure and what did you learn from it?
Hmm. My biggest failure. I don't know. That one's kind of. I really don't know on that one.
I'd have to say the marriage I was in. Because I've learned a lot from being in one, but I've also learned a lot from coming out of one. I would say it's kind of like because, it takes two to tango. And, it wasn't all just her fault. It was also my fault as well and why it didn't work out. But I've learned that, a lot about myself after the fact. And what I could have done. Like, I've learned how to improve myself now, but if I would have learned how to improve myself back then during the marriage, then that would have worked out. And that probably would have helped not only on my side, but her side as well. And then that she would have improved what needed to be improved on her side as well. And then it would have worked out from there. Like communication, for one. Learning to when to step away but still come back to it. And financially, trying to figure all that out. We never financially figured out anything. We just barely made it by. But like, I mean, that's any middle class family nowadays, is you just barely make it by. But like, we could have done a little bit better. But it's just stuff like that.
You draw me a picture.
I've learned a lot about myself coming out of a marriage that, mentally how myself works and how I could have handled that a little bit better in order to improve the relationship. But yeah, that's my biggest failure, I would have to say.
I would say my biggest failure is my anger. Uh, I have a pretty good anger. I smile a lot. I'm always happy and stuff like that. But it's the smallest thing can set me off, and that's like one of my greatest failures. But I work on it every single day, so I don't know if that's really a failure because I'm still working on it. But
Well, I would say that that's a flaw.
yeah, it's a flaw. Okay, yeah, well, yeah,
But if you fail at it every day, that means you notice that means you're working on it.
yeah. Hey, Like I said, but here lately though, I haven't had it like I've been actually pretty happy go lucky. Like I've been so busy. I don't know.
Yeah. I think my failure was like early on in my like between 18 and 21. Like I didn't take life seriously enough. And I kind of just coasted too much.
Yeah, it's kind of what I did in my marriage. I just kind of coasted. Just went to work, came home, did what I needed to do at home, and just kept going about life. And it's like a big circle moment here. It's right back to contentment, you know? It's like, were you really content with how you were living, or were you just didn't want to mess with it and just keep going, you know?
Yeah, I met my wife when I was 19. So like from the time I was like, I don't know, 15 to 19, I partied. So, a lot.
You know, I've never been to a party.
Oh my God. So my parents,
Yeah.
they used to travel.
Yeah. Look at her looking at me like that. Yeah, I've never been to a party.
You've never been to a party.
Say what?
You've never been to a party.
Never been
He's
to a
probably
party.
talking, not like a birthday party. He's probably talking about like an actual party, like a high school party or stuff like that.
Yeah.
My parents would go out of state 'cause so my parents used to transport dogs. So they would be leave off and be gone for a month or two at a time out traveling the country, transporting dogs to different people, buyers online that buy dogs, but they'd go pick them up in different states and transport them across country.
Yeah.
So like when they would leave, it would literally just be me, my brother, and my sister at the house. So like we would have like they would be gone for like a month and a half at a time, and like we would have like so many people at our house just having like parties and shit, and like drinking and stuff, and having bonfires. Like we lived out in the country, so like we just always out there throwing parties and stuff, and I partied a lot. Yes, and if we wasn't throwing one, we was out finding one, and I mean I was even on school nights. We always knew somebody out in the middle of a fucking cornfield somewhere, or out in the middle of the woods throwing a party.
Yep.
Yeah.
I always
for
heard
sure.
about them, but I never really went to. I never went to a party.
You don't really have to be invited either. You just had to just show up.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is the most inappropriate situation you have been laughing at?
I laugh at a lot of those. Being fired EMS, and my dad works for a funeral home, and stuff like that. There's a lot of inappropriate things that we joke about as a family. So, I mean, it gets kind of dark and twisted. I don't know. The most inappropriate thing?
I think one of the most inappropriate things I laugh at is like South Park. Like a lot of like the really bad stuff on South Park that like offends tons of people. I just laugh at it.
See, I've never been into South Park.
See, oh, that's the thing. Like I've never been either, but like I started noticing like all the fucked up stuff they would say in it, and I'm just like, bro, how the show's still on after
Right.
all these years, dude. I don't know. Like I've never been one to watch cartoons either, and all of a sudden I just got into watching South Park, Family Guy, and stuff like that, and I'm like, dude, these shows are so fucked up. I love it.
I think my like
I don't know, but
is when
like
people walk into doors.
Oh yeah.
oh yeah, my sister ran into a glass door when she was younger. I literally remember we were at a cookout, and it was like a family from church, and they were doing some kind of cookout for something. I think it was a graduation party. And she was running around with this one other little girl, and the screen door has been open like all day. Like it was like one of those glass screen doors. It was the sliding doors. So like
Yeah.
they're running in and out of that doorway all day long. And then the mosquitoes start coming out during the night, so they shut the door. And then of course all day she was the one chasing, and now she's the one running, and she was the first one in, but the door was shut. So it was like that Windex commercial. You just see a kid running, and it's like boom, and then bounces back. Literally, she ran so fast that she literally ran into the door, and then she bounced off the porch. I can remember exactly what it looked like. It was so freaking funny. And she was so small back then too. So like it was, oh my gosh. We still talk about that too. But no, I would have to say the most inappropriate thing is like my dad, he works at a funeral home, and a lot of the guys there, you kind of have to have like a dark sense of humor to work there, and in order to like stay happy and still go to work and stuff like that. They would crack dead people jokes.
Oh,
And there was this one time I was
yeah,
hanging
not
out.
much longer. I mean, I can.
What was that one guy's name? I can't remember this guy's name. He used to work for the funeral home, and then he passed away. I think it's been a little while now, but he would work. Him and my dad were really close. He was like an older version of my dad, same height, just wore a fedora. He had like all kinds of fedoras, and he'd always wear a suit, like with a nice jacket and stuff like that. Like he always was looking classy, but he would crack so many freaking dead people jokes. And there's this one time he was cracking jokes while a funeral was getting parked at the funeral home. And we're just out there directing traffic, and he's just cracking dead people jokes, and we're all and they're all going back to back, just cracking jokes one after another, while the family's
my.
parking and the friends are parking during a funeral.
That's crazy. Well, hey, I actually have to. We got to wrap this up. So, any closing thoughts?
I don't know if I've said this live on the podcast or not, but I do have a Spotify page set up for us now. Whenever you can't listen to us live and want to listen to us at a different time during the week or anything like that, that gets posted anytime after we do a live broadcast. I also, and that's only audio, so you can do it. You can listen to it during while you're at work, you know, while you're riding in the car, stuff like that. And then we also post a video version because they don't stay on Twitch forever. They eventually expire after what, like a week or two or something like that. So they
Nice.
expire and then they disappear off of Twitch forever. So I post a video version if you want to watch that on our YouTube page. And I think I have those set up as commands on here now.
Let me test
It should be. Let's check and see real quick. Haha, it does work. Check that out. And then, yeah, the Spotify works too. So that's our YouTube page and our Spotify page. Whenever
At
you,
Baru?
yeah. So, you can follow us on there. We would greatly appreciate that if you followed us or subscribe. Hit the subscribe button on YouTube and the follow button on Spotify. Those links will take you straight to those pages, and you'll be able to listen to us, you know, wherever and whenever.
Well, sweet. Thanks for doing all that, Gilly.
Yes, ma'am.
How about you, G? You got any closing thoughts, bud? You look like you've kind of been.
Multitasking.
No, I ain't got nothing. I just know I gotta take my son to the dentist here in a little bit. Other than that, I mean that, and my wife stepped outside to talk to me because she wants to go look at another location, maybe to move our clothes business to.
Are you going to do multiple locations?
Oh no.
Well,
Well, the place that we're in right now is like not really big. It's like 900 square feet, and then the new place that we're gonna go look at tomorrow is over 3,000.
wow.
Because we've done grown so much, and we've grown so much since we've opened 2 months ago, and we are out of room. So we gotta. That's why I was building walls this past week to try to divide somewhat.
You got somebody peeking on you too, Gilly. All right,
So
guys.
what?
Well, this has been kind of a day of random, and hopefully next week. I'm not sure when we're going to be live next week because my new position does start next week. But like that, follow, and check our page for a schedule, and we'll see you next time.
Deuce.